Welcome to the Premium Model Course, Module 1, Introduction to the Modeling Industry. This is where you're going to know the industry, understand the path, and own your future. This model introduces you to the modeling industry, how it works, the different sectors, key people involved, and the mindset required to build a successful modeling career. By the end of this model, you should understand the history, evolution of modeling, types of modeling, understand the industry structure and how it works, identify key career opportunities, and set clear goals for your journey. So the lesson list is really going to be the history and the evolution, what is modeling, types of modeling, how the modeling industry works, key people and their roles, and day in the life of a model, opportunities and career paths, and also you'll be able to set your goals and your mindset. I truly hope you're ready for this. Get your pen and pad and let's go. Every profession has a story, and modeling is no different. The industry we know today has evolved over thousands of years. Understanding where it came from helps us appreciate where it's going and opportunities available today. So, long before fashion shows existed, beautiful men and women were chosen to present loyalty, power, and culture. This is like 3000 BC to 500 AD, long ago. In civilizations like ancient Egypt, ancient Greece, and ancient Rome, artists used to use real people as inspiration for sculptures, paintings, and carvings. These individuals became symbols of beauty, strength, and status. Even though they're not called models, they perform similar role by representing ideals of beauty. So models have existed for thousands of years. The profession has simply just had a different name. And then we came into the Renaissance period, which is the 1400s and 1600s. In Europe, especially, artists like painters and sculptors hired people to pose for portraits and masterpieces. These individuals would spend hours maintaining poses while artists captured every detail. This was one of the earliest forms of professional modeling. So models became important in the world of art before they became important in fashion, just so you know. So the birth of fashion modeling was around 1700s to 1800s, where fashion became more sophisticated in Europe. Dressmakers wanted customers to see how clothing looked in real person instead of mannequin, and women were hired to wear garments inside fashion salons. These women became like house models. Clients would now imagine themselves wearing the clothing, and this was the beginning of fashion modeling. The first professional models, which is like the late 1800s in Paris, designer Charles Frederick Worth transformed the fashion industry by using live women to showcase his collection. Instead of displaying dresses on mannequins, he presented them on elegant women who walked and interacted with clients. This changed fashion forever. Many historians consider this the birth of professional fashion modeling, and basically, in one word, modern modeling industry began in Paris, and the photography now in around 1900s to 1950, when photography became popular, magazines exploded with popularity. Models no longer worked only in fashion houses. Now they appeared in newspapers, advertisement, beauty campaigns, and magazines. This created entirely new careers. Agencies also began representing models professionally. And then around 1960s, 1990s, that was the golden age of supermodels, where television and international fashion weeks made modeling a global profession. Legendary supermodels became household names. For the first time, models became celebrities. They traveled internationally, appeared on magazine covers, and worked with luxury brands. This era showed that modeling could become a lifelong career. And then around 2000 to 2015, that's when diversity inclusion it started, because now that's when the industry began embracing greater diversity, especially models of different ethnicities, body types, ages. In other words, African models started gaining recognition internationally, proving that their talent exists everywhere. And today's industry, we also get authenticity celebrated along traditional beauty. And then now from 2015 to now, social media, the digital revolution is on. Social media has transformed the modeling industry. Now models can build their own personal brands online without waiting to be discovered. Platforms like Instagram, TikTok allows models to reach millions of people directly. Brands often consider models' professionalism, engagement, and influence in addition to their portfolio. Technology has also introduced virtual castings, AI tools, and digital portfolios. So today's model is both a professional performer and a personal brand, and maybe an influencer as well. That's where we're heading. So the future of modeling really is going to evolve. with AI at hand, we have virtual fashion shows, digital avatars, sustainable fashion. They're shaping the future. So one thing remains constant: professionalism, confidence, discipline, and authenticity will always be valuable. So quickly, just to summarize for this session is the modeling industry has evolved from ancient muses to an artistic subjects to now becoming digital creators and brand ambassadors. So please, when you're planning for your future, think of this. And the key takeaway is successful models do not simply follow the industry's evolution, they adapt, grow, and you help shape its future. So that is a very quick summary of the evolution of modeling. Here is a key illustration on how the industry works. This is like the modeling industry, especially for you, so you can understand how every part connects, and this will help you position yourself professionally. Okay, so let's say there's a designer. This is at the top. We have a designer or a brand that wants to create a collection or a campaign. They go and pitch these ideas and they ask a model agency that discovers and signs represents models that they are looking for one person to work with. Then the agency will throw it to a casting director who will then do a casting to select the right model for the job. Then the model gets selected, who will be working to represent the brand with professionalism, and in return, then this means the campaign will be successful. So meaning the client or the production will use the model for the campaign or for the show, and if the results are great, that means the consumer and the audience will buy and engage and get inspired, and in return, the designer or the brand gets profit from working with this model. Simple as that. And here are the different types of modeling. I've tried to put down 16 types of modeling that you can focus on as a model, and I would recommend you choose one or two and focus on them. The first one, runway modeling, self-explanatory. Runway modeling, I'll just talk about the strength. So runway modeling, the biggest strength you need to have is you need to learn how to walk. You need to have the same body size. It's a standard size, which is 6 or 8 UK. For all models internationally, and the height has to be at least 175 centimeters and above. Commercial modeling, you need to be very strong in acting. There's no body size. Anybody can be a commercial model. You just need to be a very good actor. Editorial modeling, you have to be very good in posing, but your body size should be the same as the runway models. Fitness modeling, you should be a person that is into fitness, who loves their body, whose body is toned and very, very good, and always you will always get brands that are working with the fitness brands that are into fitness. You have swimwear modeling. Again, the strength for a swimwear model is like you have to have good skin and also good body, depending on the country. But good shape, good body. You have to be fit a little bit as well. Lingerie models, they differ depending on country to country. So some countries will prefer them a bit plump, a bit bigger, maybe bigger boobs, but it really depends with the country. Print modeling is almost like a commercial model, but this, so same. You need to be good, very good actor. You should be able to get different faces or different emotions out when you're doing your pictures. You have catalog modeling. These models, their biggest strength should be they should be able to pose. You'll be given like 90 to 100 pieces in one session to pose for a catalog, and you need to be able to come up with different poses for simple poses, not as strong as the high fashion, as the editorial model, but these are more like very quick poses for catalogs. Parts modeling, self-explanatory. You just have to be very, very good at pictures and taking pictures of the parts that you're trying to be modeling for. And your promotional modeling, these models must be very, very smart, hardworking, professional in terms of timekeeping, because you're going to be briefed about the brand very quickly, and you're going to be representing this brand. Your communication skills should be very, very, very good if you want to be a promotional model. Influencer modeling, you have to be very good in content creation. You have to learn how to take picture selfies, and you have to learn how to edit pictures yourself as well. And this is the new trend right now. A lot of models are influencers as well. Acting modeling, these are actors. They are also, some of them are usually commercials, but you also are in movies, but you're a model as well. You have maternity modeling, child modeling, self-explanatory, and then you have plus size, which these are models that are bigger in size in terms of not to their normal standard that they usually want. And you have artistic or fine art modeling. You have to be very, very good in posing in an artistic way. So that's it. That's a summary. I would recommend you select one or two and focus on them. And good luck. Okay, so now after you've learned all that, we're going to do a little bit of practice, and I would like you to do this by yourself. So after you've selected the type modeling you want to do, please go and watch 3 different types of videos of the same kind of modeling type you want to do. So, for example, if you want to do runway or you want to do commercial, editorial, just look at those videos on YouTube. And then I want you to write down what you notice about that, that video in terms of the model, about the facial expressions, their energy, their confidence, their styling, their presentation, anything that you notice that you really think you need to reflect on. So you reflect, and so you can say, this is what a model is supposed to do for this kind of modeling. And then write down what you've learned from that, and I would love you to share this with us on the email address I'm posting on the page right now, so that we can maybe respond and help you further. And an extra test for you: just answer those questions just to test what you've learned today, and then email them to us as well. We'll be so happy to receive your response. Just 5 things to remember. Always stay curious and keep learning like you did today. Understand the industry before you enter it. Professionalism will always open doors for you. Opportunities are everywhere for prepared models, and your journey is unique, so you need to own it. And I hope one day brands like Nike, L'Oreal, Zara will be able to use models like you, and I believe you can do it. So well done for finishing this course, and good luck.